Hello, wine-drinking people. Today is April 23rd, Friday. The end of the week for most of you folks. We still got one day to go here at the Wine Watch. Well, let me tell you, yesterday was, even though it was somewhat exciting in the store having Antonio here, our newest taster, we didn't have one supplier stop by. So I was singing How Dry I Am all day long yesterday. But we did... yesterday was Bring Your Kid to School Day. As those of you who watched our show yesterday saw, our new budding star at 5.5 years old, Antonio, is in the game. And I think we're going to take him home and practice blind tasting him on orange juice, apple juice, and cranberry juice, just to get things going here with the little guy. Don't underestimate him. He's going to surprise you. This little guy's ready to take it to the next level. Okay, we didn't have any wine open in the store, but I made up for it last night at home. Of course, there will be wine with dinner. And last night, Tony made a Pappardelle pasta with porcini mushrooms, a dish we're going to be doing tonight for the Brunello tasting. We always like to sample out, in addition to the wine, the food that we're going to be serving for you folks. The Brunello event, by the way, is sold out tonight. Sorry, folks, if you wanted to make it to that. You got to make reservations a little sooner for some of these events in the store. We only have 16 seats available for the seated events in the store. So last night at home, we practiced with a little Barbaresco, 2002 from La Spinetta. 2002 was a bad vintage in the Piedmont. A lot of people didn't make their top wines in 2002, like Giorgio Ravetti. The La Spinetta Barbaresco 2002 is not Galena, Starderi, or Valorano. He makes 3 single vineyards in most years. In 2002, Giorgio decided he was just going to take a little bit of fruit from each vineyard, the best fruit he could get, and make one Barbaresco. And this is a delicious little wine and is drinking at or near its peak. Do not shy away from this because you see that 2002 vintage. It is more important to look at the producer than the vintage, and La Spinetta does not put out bad wine. Okay, well, that was fantastic. We had Dave Miller in the house last night. He brought by a little Ramey Rogers Vineyard Syrah, which we had at the Ramey dinner a few weeks ago. This wine was delicious, opaque, dark, offered up some lovely peppery spice, a little bit of chocolate, and peach and lychee also. Kind of interesting for a Syrah, but this wine has a little bit of Viognier. I think that's where you're getting those peach and lychee flavors from in that. But just delicious, lovely, velvety, soft tannins. And then, believe it or not, another Spirit de Chevalier sighting last night. Yes, there was a half bottle left on the counter, so I took that home. It was delicious. We sucked that down, drinking beautiful after being open 2 days. And then the Chateau Frambrage. This was a hit from our Bordeaux tasting at Cafe Max on Wednesday night. This wine is soft and velvety, smooth, a lot of lovely plum fruit, a little bit of that toasty oak spice. Very charming and alluring and very drinkable. Very nice, the Frambrage. Okay, well, it was kind of a short day yesterday, only 4 or 5 wines. You know, that's not the big leagues here like usual. Usually we get to 10, 15, 20 wines easily in the course of a day, but we're going to make up for it tonight. We're tasting through at least 10 wines from Montalcino, and we have nothing else going on this week, but next week we do have a killer lineup of events. Check it out on our calendar of events for next week. Everything, we still have seats for everything next week. Okay, what are we trying to sell you today? Well, today we're promoting an event that's happening not next Friday, but the Friday after that in 2 weeks, our annual California Cult Tasting. And what makes a cult wine? Do they make it under the full moon? Do they sacrifice some small farm animal while producing this wine? No, the simplest factor in the economy kicks in with cult wines, supply and demand. Wines like this Screaming Eagle, there's just simply not enough of them to go around. And that is right, folks. Yes, we are going to be tasting the most expensive, the most sought-after wine in California. As we always do at this cult tasting, we've got Screaming Eagle 01, Harlan Estate 01, Harlan the Maiden. We've got Bon Vicina, Blanquiet, a flight of 01s, Dalaval Maya, a couple vintages of that, some Colgan Herb Lamb. Check out everything else we're going to be tasting in 2 weeks from tonight. It's $495. Chef Mike Saperstein is going to be putting together a special menu for this event. Check it out on today's email. This is Andrew Lampasone, your host from the Wine Watch, signing off, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.